Welcome to another episode of Train Lee Installations. Today I'm reviewing apparently what's becoming one of my specialties is converting these little rail trucks, or these little LGB rail trucks, to DCC and adding all the extra things to them. This one is really not significantly different from some of the other ones. Of course, you know, I add the lights and so on. So to turn on the headlights, it is of course F0, and you can see those turn on. And then we go ahead and turn on the main engine sound by pressing F8. And for simplification, what I've set it up is to turn on both the bed and the wreath lights by pressing F5, and it turns all those lights on. And if we back it up a little bit here, you can see the headlights a little better there. So headlights off, and the headlights coming back on. Bring it forward again. And this one has the usual couple of different things. We have our sleigh bells, which is of course F1. This would be the normal bells on a locomotive or function key that most people have come to understand. And then you have a Aruga style horn. And then after we have the Aruga, we have the classic ho ho ho. Ho, 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 ho. And then if you press that again, the same key. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas! So that's two different sounds on the same function key. And then of course after the two different sounds upon the same function key, we have the classic, where it plays three different songs, and this as per the customer's choice. They have set up their three different songs, and that is F4 is an example of one of the songs, and then F5 I reviewed and says it turns on the lights on the bed and on the wreath, and then we can turn that off, and I can turn on the wreath lights with F6. This also turns them on as flickering, and then F7 turns on the bed lights, so you have a choice. You can also use the F5 to turn both on, so you can have one flickering and one not flickering. And then we have F8 for your running sounds. F9 is what's referred to as the shunting key. This just changes the momentum on it. So it takes off a little and stops a little bit faster. And then F10 increases the volume, F11 decreases the volume. So overall the programming is pretty simple to get all the lights and the sound and the music cycling and all that good stuff. That is some scripting that I've developed with the decoders in-house. Oops, didn't mean to bump that. And as usual, the bed is empty, and it's difficult there is a speaker, it is in the cab of the truck. It's difficult to see anything, and there's no real wires showing. If you open up the little cover in here, which is where the motor connects, there's the wires for the decoder. And so it's all hidden in the truck. This is another episode of Trainly Installs. I'm Christine McNary, and I did this installation. Thank you for watching.